Larry Bird.
Smash that like button. Let's do it.
One of the most divisive characters in basketball history, with some recognizing Bird as the greatest player of all time, while some have him dropping out of the top 10 altogether.
Hey, Larry on my top 10 list, chat. I'm going to show y'all real quick just so y'all can see my motherfucking top 10, folks. I wrote it down the other day. This is my top 10. I got Mike, Braun, Kareem, Shaq, Magic, Tim Duncan, Kobe, motherfucker Big Larry, Bill Russell, and Steph. That's my top 10, chat. Comment down below if y'all rocking with it, alright? Let's get back to this video. I just want to, show y'all my shit.
Coming in recent years, amid the rise of this current crop of NBA talent, coupled with mounting narratives of the alleged
why is Steph shaking his ass,
inferiority of other eras.
Was Steph just shaking his ass, folks?
A current crop of NBA talent, coupled
Steph! What the fuck? Hey, let's finish watching.
Narratives of the alleged physical inferiority of other eras.
Oh, well, he was being guarded by plumbers and firemen.
And Larry Bird presents a major dilemma, which is on the rise as of late across the board in all of the major sports. How do you weigh different eras? How can you cross-compare different players who might have existed decades apart from one another, played against varying levels of competition, and in starkly contrasting league-wide environments? How can you factor in elongated time of play and peak performance extension amid technical advancements in nutrition, supplementation, training philosophies, and implementation? Fundamentally, the answer is complex.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
But one element of comparison is easy. How dominant were you in your own time? How much did you excel against the competition within your own era? And how feared were you? And Larry Bird has one of the shorter careers of any all-time great in NBA history, as he was drafted with the number 6 overall pick in the 1978 draft by the Boston Celtics at the age of 22. But Bird opted to return to Indiana State for his senior year in college and forego entry into the NBA until the following 1979 season at the age of 23. And on November 15th, 1988, just 6 games into the season, Bird would be diagnosed with debilitating bone spurs on both Achilles that would require immediate season-ending surgery.
Damn.
And at the age of 32, Bird would miss that entire season and postseason, leaving many to speculate that Bird's career was over. And years later, Larry himself admitted he should have retired following the Achilles surgeries. However, the next season, at the age of 33, Bird returned and played 75 of a possible 82 games while averaging 24 points, 10 rebounds, and 8 assists per game in 39 minutes a night. Load management be damned. But the decline would set in sharply, and Bird's reluctance to miss games or sit out nights throughout his career, coupled with his intensely physical style of play, took its toll. In all, during his final 4 seasons, Bird missed 142 of a possible 328 games.
Damn.
And that was after missing only 27 total games over his first 9 years in the NBA.
Wow.
Due to the sharp fall-off amid a body that quickly failed him, Larry Bird played a total of only 897 regular season games and 164 playoff games throughout his entire NBA career.
What? Let's see what he about to say.
Compare that to the self-proclaimed GOAT, who many believe has surpassed Larry Legend in recent years as the greatest small forward in NBA history.
That one right there made me the greatest player of all time.
He been past Larry.
James has played to date in 1,703 combined regular season and playoff games, nearly 700 more total games than Larry Bird played.
Damn! Chad, do y'all not understand what that means? Just clock this, chat. Larry has 21,000 points in 13 seasons. LeBron got what? 39,000, almost 40,000 points. And he played almost, 700 more games, G? 700 more games. That's like 8 more seasons, G. 9 more seasons. Bro, come on, G. Larry was raw as hell, bro.
And LeBron is moving on to season number 21 and counting. It is conceivable that James will end up playing in twice the amount of games as Larry Bird. It's no wonder James and other all-time great players dwarf Bird's statistical accumulation with the relatively limited career Bird had in terms of time played. But in understanding the context of his career from a peak standpoint, and when factoring in the NBA built around him at the time, Bird produced arguably one of, if not the best primes ever. Coming into the league the same season as Earvin Magic Johnson in 1979, it would be Bird that won Rookie of the Year that season, while also being named to first team All-NBA and making the NBA All-Star team in just his rookie season.
Yo, bro, this nigga made all first team All-NBA in his rookie season, G. How do y'all niggas feel that was playing back then around that time, G? Like, real talk, I really want to know, how do y'all feel that y'all let a rookie do that shit, man? Because there's no way that could have been me, man. There's no way, folks. We letting a rookie come in and just win shit like that, bro. Y'all crazy, man. No pride, no nothing.
1980 season, Bird would be named first team All-NBA for the first 9 seasons of his career.
Wow.
While the Celtics would make 8 conference finals over those 9 seasons.
Wow.
This Eastern Conference was a far cry from that of the chosen era that he feasted on, which was one of the historically weakest conferences ever. But the Eastern Conference of the 1980s was the power conference. This decade saw one of the greatest teams in NBA history in that conference. The 1983 Moses Malone and Julius Erving-led Philadelphia 76ers. It had the Bad Boys Pistons, the Dominique Wilkins Atlanta Hawks, a perennial 50-win Milwaukee Bucks team, and Michael Jordan. There were no easy series in the Eastern Conference playoffs during the decade of the 1980s, yet Larry Bird found his way to 5 NBA Finals over the first 9 years of his career, and his reward for battling through the gauntlet of those stacked Eastern Conference playoff fields was meeting one of the greatest teams ever assembled in the NBA Finals from the Western Conference. The Celtics and Larry Bird had the misfortune of running up against the LA Lakers in 3 NBA Finals, led by arguably 2 top 5 players ever, Magic Johnson and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, a team that also had top 50 all-time player and perennial all-star James Worthy as a third option. Yeah, Bird lost to that team twice in the NBA Finals for his only 2 finals losses. But he also beat that team in the NBA Finals for 1 of his 3 finals wins. Oh, and also beat the Hakeem Olajuwon Rockets in another NBA.
Wait, comment down below how many times Larry went to the championship. I think he made it to the finals 5 times. He won 3 and lost 2. So I'm not sure. Y'all correct me if I'm mistaken.
The accumulated number of elite, high-end opponents Bird faced throughout his 9-year run puts him in the running of having acquired some of the most difficult rings in league history. But this should come as no surprise, since Larry Bird was one of the most high-leverage winners the sport of basketball has ever seen, as the Celtics were just 32-50 and 29-53 the 2 seasons prior to Bird's arrival. But in just his first season in the NBA as a rookie, Bird elevated the Celtics from 29 wins to 61 and took Boston all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals. And over the 9-year run until his dual Achilles surgery practically ended his career, the Celtics won an average of 61 games a year and never won fewer than 57. During that 9-year prime, beginning in his rookie season at the age of 23. And
bro, they didn't lose under 57 games, man. Larry was a true winner, man. The nigga don't know what it feel like to lose ever in the NBA, G. Just imagine staying with one franchise. They drafted you when you was a rookie, and you just stayed with them your whole career. They let you stay through thick and thin. And then, nigga, y'all never lose at that. And then you end up winning 3 rings, man. Larry got a fantastic story, G. Larry got one of the best. He's one of the best legends in the NBA, G. Y'all know what a legend is. A legend is like a mythical stories type shit. Like, the legend of Larry Bird, G, that's going to forever be like crazy in the NBA. His story. Literally, his story. History. On Fuzz.
Running until his double Achilles surgery at 32, Bird averaged 25 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists, and 2 steals per game while shooting 50% from the field. 38% from the three-point line and 88% from the free throw
almost
strike.
50, 40,
During
90.
that 9-season run, Bird finished top 5 in MVP all 9 seasons with an absurd 4 second-place finishes during that time and 3 first-place finishes. His 4 runner-ups were to Moses Malone twice, Julius Erving, and Michael Jordan. His 3 league MVPs were won consecutively over the span of 1984 to 1986, and done in a league that had Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Moses Malone, Julius Erving, Dominique Wilkins, Charles Barkley, Hakeem Olajuwon, and Michael Jordan. In the 1980s era, an era defined by arguably the greatest collection of high-end historical NBA talent, the case that Larry Bird was the greatest player of them all during that decade is an easy one to make. So while players that have played drastically longer than him might have stacked more stats than him, what if the question was how dominant were you in your own time? How much did you excel against the competition within your own era?
Very dominated,
and how
for sure.
feared were you as a player? Under those parameters of evaluation, it is clear that Larry Bird still stands on an island with very few guys who have ever played in any era.
All right, y'all. That's the end of the video, man. All right. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Larry is definitely top 10 in my opinion. All right, I don't have him on my top 5 list. I definitely got Magic more, cause in my top 5, I feel like you can't be in my top 5 unless your ass got 3 or more. Well, Shaq in there. You gotta have 5 or more rings, and you gotta have dominated. So I got MJ, Bron, Kareem, Shaq, and Magic. That's the best starting 5 NBA history. That's not my starting 5, but that's the best 5 NBA history. All of those guys either are statistical greats, they have statistically great numbers, they have multiple rings, multiple MVPs, and they changed the game down there. Each of them niggas changed the game. So, except for Kareem, for real. But Kareem got the sky hook. All right, but everybody else on that list changed the game, G. All right, but Larry, I think the only thing holding him back from being in my top 5 is that he don't have 5 rings, G. You let Magic beat you twice. I think you lost in the finals 3 times, you know? So, I don't know, I can't put Larry in that top 5, but I could definitely put him in my top 10, G. All right, so, hey, that's the end of the video, though, man. All right, I hope y'all enjoyed it, because I know I did. All right, make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you're new. It's your boy, Coach TDOT. I'm up out of here, man. I love y'all.